Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we are going to create legs for our character. So let's start. So for creating legs I will just go to side view and let's see what we have in the side view. So yeah, you can see we have a cube like this, and if we go to front view you can see we have this type of shape here under this torso, and then we have this cube and this type of extrusion we can create, and then we can create this type of leg. So let's start. So what we can do is that we can actually select this torso, which is actually low poly, not too much polygons here, and we can actually extrude this section. So let's one more thing we can do is that we can yeah, but I think we should have two sections. Okay, no problem. So let's create a loop here and a loop here as well to this side, and one loop I need here maybe, and a loop here to this side, and then we can just select this section by control click. We can press 1 for the front view, and we can press easy to make it a little bit extrusion we need. I will just create a loop here inside so that it should be a little bit sharp like this. Okay, and that's nice. Now we will just create this type of extrusion. So for that purpose we can just create some loops here. So we can just create a loop here, a loop to this side as well, and I think a loop here, sorry, control R and control R, and now you can see we have these sections. So let's select this one, these two, and we can extrude these sections. So I will just delete these both faces. Let's delete these faces, and let's select both faces by alt click, and we can just deselect this thing before doing anything else. So sorry, alt click and shift alt click, and now we will just move in front, and we can just extrude it to z-axis a little bit. Definitely we have little problem with the overall size of the torso, so I think we can select this torso, and we can press SZ to scale it little bit, and then we can just move it a little bit up so that now we can see this section. So now we'll just select this one and this one loop, sorry, alt click and shift alt click, and then we'll just move it easy again like this, easy again, and we can just scale it a little bit, and you can see that the scaling will create problems. So I will just move it like this, straight, easy again, and easy again till here, and we'll just join the faces by pressing F. Now we can just scale these edges. So we can select this loop, this section, and we can scale it to something like 0.646, and we'll select this one and scale it 0.646, Okay, and now we will select this loop and this loop, and we will press S to scale it, and you can see we can't select scale both, so we can select one only, and then we will just scale it little bit like this, 1.153, little bit more, I think something like 1.220. okay, sorry, we will just move back, and here we will just press scale, and I will also select this one. So yeah, and now we'll scale like this, 1.504. so we'll select these two, scale it 1.504, and then we can just move further. So now if we apply the subdivision surface, and if we go to object mode, you can see this type of shape, which is good, and we are happy with this, although you can create some sharp edges if you want to do so. So I think we should create some sharp edges. So for that purpose we can I will just create a loop here to this end and this end, and for the other shape as well. So you will see that it will be quite good. Okay, and now if we apply this, you can see the shape is quite better than before. If we go to side view, you can see this is our side view, and we have this section, which is good. And now we will start creating our legs. So this is the base actually we have created for these legs. So let's start now. So for the legs we will create another object. So for that we will just create a shift, we will press shift A, mesh, and here on the mesh we will create a cube, and for this cube we will just press edit, tab to edit, and we'll just bring it to the right place. We'll scale it something like this, bring it here, and yeah, size is fine, I think. Scale it a little bit more, and then we will just mirror it to other side as well, so that it should be here. We will just go to side view, and in side view you can see that we can fix this weights later on, no problem. We'll just go to front end and we'll start creating our leg. So this is our cube, and we will want to create a loop here. Control R in the middle. So I think we have to need a cut here, so I will just create a loop here and a loop here right after that. Okay, one loop we need here for this cut, so Control R to this side, and one loop we need here to this side. Okay, so that's nice, we have these loops. Now before moving further, we can create some loop here as well for the better result, but I will not do that. We will just match the overall shape of this leg, and then after that we will just fix this section. So before that, actually we will fix this section right now, and then after that we will map out this section. Okay, so that's better option, I think. So we can just move this vertex to here maybe, and this vertex here maybe. Okay, and in shaded view actually we can hide body and torso section for now, and we'll just focus on this leg. Okay, and now you can see we want to delete this section, actually this one, and this one. So let's delete these faces. So now you can see we have this type of shape, although we need these sections to be joined here. So for that purpose we can just select these loops. So we'll select this loop and this loop, and shift alt click, with shift we can select both, and we'll just press F to fill out the faces, then this one and this one, and we will just press F, then these two, this one and this upper one, and then we can press F. And now if we apply the subdivision surface, you will see that we will have a very nice shape, although you can see the cuts are not good. Okay, and that is due to lesser loops here. Okay, so for that purpose we will just create some loops. So I will just create a loop here to this corner, and we'll create a loop here as well. Okay, and you will see that it will give us better cut like this. But for the better performance we will also create some cuts to these sides as well. So if we create some loops here, you will see that our result will be much more better than before. So let's create some loops here with the Control R, and I will again enable the shortcut keys because I just forget to enable that. So now if we apply this, and if we move it to object mode, you can see very nice shape here, although we can right click here and we can apply shade smooth to make it more better. Okay, so that's good. This is better base of our leg. So now we'll just move further. We'll just go to 1. By pressing 1 we will move here, and we'll also enable the torso to check out this section, and yeah, this is good. And now we'll just start manipulating this section. We'll just extrude this section. So for that purpose we'll just go to tab view, and we will just disable this, and we will just select this section. So from the corner, okay, to this corner we select everything. We will go to front view, and we will start extruding this section. So E Z, and definitely we can move it like this, and again EZ, and we can scale it as well if you want to do so, EZ, and here we will just scale it a little bit more, not too much, EZ again, and at this point we will just scale it a little bit bigger. Okay, we'll select this section, this loop, by selecting this option, and then we can just move it like this. And also for these loops we'll select these loops, and only this loop we can select because this is connected with this area. So I will just move it a little bit, not too much. Okay, so now if we apply this, and if we see the result, you can see very nice result here. And if we go to side view, you can see that although we have this type of shape in the side view, and we can bend out the legs, but in my case we will not do that, and we'll keep it like we will keep it straight for our character. Okay, so let's go to front view again, and these is the leg upper section, so we will just write here leg top, and then we will just create this section. Okay, and this is also we are creating the separate objects for these for every section because of texturing, and later on we can just join these sections as well. So we will just press shift A, we can just create a cube here, and for the cube we'll just click edit, we'll press scale, and we'll just scale it, bring it here to the right position, scale it again, and yeah, and before that I think we will create this bottom leg, and after that we'll just create this section. Okay, so we will not follow the exact rule of that reference image. Okay, we will not follow the exact same things. So let's let's create this leg, the bottom leg. So we'll just keep it simple. So I will just add it here, and we'll just go to mirror it to other side, and then we can just move it. Okay, so now we can just move to front view, and we will just keep these legs simple. So I will just select everything, we'll just add it here maybe, and then we will just move it a little bit like this, and then for the bottom section we'll just select this one loop, we'll go to front view, and we will press EZ to extrude it to Z axis. Okay, like this. And here you can see we have this type of section, and actually we want to keep it simple. So okay, for this we will just press S to scale it a little bit like this, and that's it. So if we apply subdivision surface on this, you can see we have this type of bad behavior. So we'll just press Ctrl R, and we'll create a loop here on this side, and a loop here as well. So for the corner, so for the better corners, and two loops here as well. So I will just create two loops, and we'll press SX, move these loops to the corners, and now I think this is quite good. Okay, now I'll move further, and we'll just create the feet. These feet are quite simple. If we go to side view, you can see this is our feet, so we can just press Ctrl A, sorry, Shift A, and actually I will just select this cube, which is the legs bottom section. So we'll just say leg bottom like this. Okay, and now we'll just create another object with the Shift A, mesh, and definitely a cube, and we'll just go to edit, and we'll scale it, go to front view, go to mirror as well, and we'll just move it, sorry, yeah, we can move it like this, and we can scale it like this, and we'll just place it to the right position. So here you can see that this is our leg area, so we'll just move it somewhere here, and we'll just scale it to x-axis and move it here, scale it to z-axis like this, we'll just go to side view, and here we will just scale it to y-axis. Sorry, scale it to y-axis again, and now you can see we have this type of foot. We will just move this foot a little bit like this because it's a robotic feet, robotic shoe, so we'll just add it here, and we need it very simple. We can just create some effects on this shoe if we want to do so. So I will just select this loop, and let's by alt click. You can see we can't click all the loops, so we'll just select it with shift click, and we can press S to scale it inside like this, and then we can just bring it a little bit down to make it like this, and then we can just press Ctrl R, and we'll just create some loops here, and we'll just select this loop maybe, and press S to scale it a little bit, just for giving a better shape, just for getting some better shape for the feet. And then we'll just select this last section, and sorry, and then this loop with the alt, I will just go to solid view, alt shift alt click. Okay, so now these two are selected, but you can see that this polygon we want to select, so let's select this one. With control we can select this one as well, so let's select this one as well, and now we will just press S to scale it a little bit like this. So this is very nice feet. We can just go to subdivision surface, and we'll just increase the subdivision surface, and you can see the feet here, and that is because of lesser loops. So for the better result, we will just definitely create some loops here. So I will just create a loop here to this side, a loop here as well, one loop we need to this side. Okay, and a loop to this side, and we will also check it in this view, and you can see it's quite good, but we need some loops to this side as well. So Control R and a Control R, and we'll just create a loop here as well. So now you can see it will give us the better result. So this is the feet of our robot, which is nice. One more thing is that we have some other parts as well for the robot, but I think for the these sections we can just create some default shapes. So I will just create a cube here, shift A, and we'll just rename this cube, and we'll just edit this cube and scale it and mirror it as well, and then we'll just bring it to the right place. We'll just scale it. Okay, I will just add it here. Okay, and now we will just create a joining between these two sections. So for that purpose, what we can do, we can actually create a section like I think here it is good, and a little bit of scale to x-axis, little bit. Okay, and scale to y-axis as well. a little bit like this. And now we'll just go to wireframe mode, and here you can see we have a lot of cut. Here we can create a cut like this. So for that purpose we can just select the loops, so we can press Ctrl R and we can create some cuts here. So I will just create 6 loops here, and for this side we will just create 6 loops here. Okay, and now we can select some section, and we can just edit that section or delete that section. So we can select this section, maybe this one till here. Okay, and then I will just hide the leg, and then we can select this one, and then we can select with control we can select multiple section. So after that we can just delete these faces, and we will just get this type of shape. Now what we can do, we can select everything. Actually we can select one section. Before that I will just check it here. So now you can see this type of shape, and that is good actually, and we are happy with this. And from the bottom we can just delete certain section as well. So I will just select this section till here, and I will also disable the bottom leg, and then this one, and we can press delete to delete the faces. So now we will join these faces. We just get this type of shape, and for this shape we can just join the faces. So we can join faces with selecting the face. So for example this one and this one with shift, and we can press F. We can select these two, press F. We can select these two, F, and then this two and F. For this section we can select this loop now with the alt click, and you can see it's the complete loop is selected. Actually we can press directly F to fill out the faces as well, so if we want to do so, but if we select the subdivision surface, I think that is good, that's better, and we don't need to do anything else, so that is good. And if we press A in vertices mode, and if we right click and merge vertices by distance, then you can see we don't have any problem with the vertices. So now from the bottom side we will also do the same thing. So we will first select these two loops, and let's press F to fill out the faces, and then these two and fill out the faces, and then we will select the inner section and we will press F to join the faces. So now you can see we have this type of shape, which is quite good. And if we go to enable this top leg and like bottom, you can see we have this type of impact, which is good. Okay, so we have this type of joining here just for this robot, and definitely we can increase the loops to get something better as well if we want to do so. So if we create a loop here and a loop here as well, sorry, we will get something more better and more sharp. Okay, so that's good. So for this shape we will add different materials, that's why we are creating these shapes separately, and later on when we will be okay with everything, then we will definitely fix these things and we'll join these things as well. Okay, so now the other thing is that this is a knee. Okay, so we can just rename it to knee maybe, and then this is the feet, and between the feet we can create some other type of object. So I think we can just duplicate this object, shift D, and let's move it to the Z axis and let's add it here. Yeah, and that will look better, and then we will just join it to the right place. So for this we will just we will actually select this one as well, and let's scale it to x-axis, sorry, a little bit like this. And you can see that if we scale it to x-axis in object mode, it will create problems. So we'll just go to edit mode, and then we'll select everything, then we'll scale it to x-axis, and it will give us better options. Okay, so like this, we'll just scale it to x-axis so that our main section will be outside this, so that will look better, I think. So let's see. So now you can see it's quite better, and we have our feet, we have our knees, and we'll just press shade smooth as well, and for this shade smooth, for this shade smooth, and everything is fine. So now I think we have created our legs as well, and our robot main structure is already almost ready, and we'll just enable everything, okay, just for testing purpose. And this cube is actually the feet, and other things are fine. Knee 001, yeah, that's fine, and leg, bottom, neck, torso, etc. Okay, that's good. So now you can see that everything looks good for the robot, but here for this section I think this is not very nice, so we can just modify this section a little bit. So I will just select edit, and here we can select everything, and we'll press SX to scale it to x-axis to make it like this, a little bit bigger, and then we will press SZ to scale it to z-axis a little bit more. Okay, and yeah, that's good. And then definitely we can fix this section as well, but I think the legs and these things are fine, but we can move these legs a little bit back. Okay, so that's good. And now what we can do, we can select these legs and this one as well, and we can go to 3 side view, and we'll just move it a little bit back like this. So now it's quite better, and now that's it. We'll just save the project, and now if you'll see this robot, you can see we have a nice robot, and it has everything. It has the legs, body, hands, torso, everything we have created successfully. We'll just delete the front and the side reviews, and I think we should not delete it because we will just get an idea of materials here, although we will add separate materials, but we will just check the color combinations here, so it will be very helpful for us. So that's it for this video. In next section we will learn about materials.